Welcome to Jurassic Park Germany and welcome to the brand new update number 4 overview, a brand new time lapse and also a first look of the new DLC Dinosaurs. If you're interested in any of those three things, stick with me. We are going to first have a time lapse in which we're going to talk about all the updates in update 4 and my, little review because I've been playing that for a couple of hours already. And also stick with me because at the end of the video, you can also skip forward obviously, we're going to have a look at the brand new Dinosaurs. So let's do it. Alright, without further ado, let's jump into the time lapse. You will see what's going on in the background, and we're going to start with a German classic, the Autobahn, or the highway, for those of you who don't know, but the German Autobahn is the name itself, I guess, because, it's Germany, we have to have it in a parking lot. While I'm doing that, and I think this is the beauty of the fact that I'm doing this, we can talk about the brand new update. Update number 4, and this is an update. If I would have to cluster it, I would say it's definitely going to be one for the Sandbox players out there. There is a huge amount of changes that you will appreciate quite a bit. So first things first, they brought the instant build option. So that means no matter what building you are going to place down in the Sandbox mode, if you have set everything to creative settings, it will be built immediately, which is pretty sick because that makes building a lot more easy to try the force and try and error is making a lot more sense now because you can just plop it down, just remove it, plop it down again. So to find the right spot, it's gonna be a massive help to you guys to improve your buildings. The second big change is that they added a whole bunch of new variants of decoration on the one hand as new decoration pieces that you will find in the menus, but also they have brought in a range of new underwater pieces, which is pretty sick as well. And they also added a couple new variants of decoration to the lagoons, that means, and also to the other facilities. So these things you can plop simply to the lagoon. You'll see that in the video a bit later on. And you can also, add a couple new variants to your amenities as you were used to in the past by just going into the amenity and then just change the different style. And so you are going to be greeted by some cool new options, whether it's going to be the Jurassic Park kind of flag or the new fountains and stuff. One cool thing which you're going to see later in this video in the real-time part is how the new lighting system works. So we have control over the color of, well, I'd say 50% of all the lights in the game you are now able to change the color of, which is also pretty sick because it's gonna give you a lot more control over nighttime and it makes nighttime just a bit more valuable, which I think is a good change. But just speaking of all the different new options, I have the feeling, I can't confirm it, it's not in the patch notes and it never has been said, but my feeling is that they have improved the hitboxes of pieces. I would even say dramatically. I have been building with mods obviously quite a bit, and for the change and for the DLC and the preview, I did obviously disable all the mods, and I have to say that I am quite pleased by the fact that it didn't feel too different anymore because you could put things quite close to each other, which I think is one of these hidden heroes, I would almost call this, of an update, because that is something I always think bugged me the most. So I'm very happy they did so. The same goes for the underwater pieces. You can put them very close to each other. Obviously, you still can't merge them into each other, but apparently you can bring them very close to each other, which is another good win. I'm also quite happy with all the new fountain pieces and stuff that are in the game. They're not a huge game changer, but we got a couple new Jurassic Park era buildings, which is really cool, like a watchtower and all these kind of things. You will see them in the time-lapse now. I'm basically using all the pieces, and we are going to fly over at the end of the video, so you're going to see that anyways in detail. But if you're like super interested in every single one, just have a look in the real-time part later and also in this time-lapse. But fear no more, we are going to have a lot more buildings in the future. This is going to be my new Sandbox series, and in this one I'm going to build. As you can tell over here, this is the tower I was just speaking of, paired with some new floodlights and other kind of lovely lights. We are getting finally again, we're getting the toilet, Jurassic Park OG toilet, which is super cool because we had that in Jurassic World Evolution 1 and then all of a sudden it was gone. But yeah, so really happy. I have to say that especially the instant build and the new variants of different types of foliage pieces and underwater pieces really makes it for me. It's a very solid free update. We are going to talk about the DLC animals a little bit later in today's video, but just so you know, I think the update is worth coming back to the game a little bit. Just have a have a little check how you like it, but I think it's very good in giving you a bit more options, a bit more variance, especially in sandbox mode. We are still far away from everything we would need, like we still don't have like proper benches and bins that people can actually use. We still are lacking a lot more building options. We still are basically locked down to the amenities and facilities we have, so we have to get creative with those. I think there's a whole bunch new opportunities that Frontier could go into, even with the restrictions of Universal, but at least we have some elements over here. By the way, these are all the new kind of styling elements to the lagoon. Unfortunately, they're always like super inspired by Jurassic World Evolution, and this is, I guess, where my only big criticism comes in. And I'm not even sure if this is down to Frontier, but everything we get is obviously so close to the IP of Universal that we are never kind of getting loose from what Jurassic World looked like or what Jurassic Park looked like. So I wish they would just explore the style a lot more by utilizing the style, just as they did for their facilities, by the way. This is where Frontier, I think, delivered quite immensely, but I would love to see this in the decoration area as well, so that we just don't get the same things, but just like an island on the lagoons, or like some proper floating planters or whatever, something that just goes beyond what Universal and the movies have already shown us. So I guess you could say that the underwater pieces are a certain thing like that, but yeah, apparently I think there's so much more that you could do with it that I'm just maybe just like wishing too much, but this is what I think, but the rest of the update is super solid. A lot of behavior changes and stuff I will link down in the article about the update. But now let's jump into the real-time part and have a look at the end. Hello and welcome into the real-time part, greeted by the Alamosaurus. And as you can see over here, this one is just chewing from a little tree over here in its beautiful little habitat. Well, in fact, this is just a test habitat. It's not going to stay that way, but you can tell this dinosaur is quite a big one. I am surprised by this dinosaur. I didn't think about that one, that it will make its way into the game. I haven't really heard of it too often, but I must say it is not only good, but as you can tell by this one in the end here, or like in the background, it is also coming with a couple of new animations for sauropods that I at least haven't seen in the game. That might well be because I'm just a stupid blind little camel that didn't see them prior to this, but I think they come with a couple of new animations, and they are also very chunky and big. You wouldn't think, because they are so chunky, but if you are like very close to them, you can really tell they are huge, because compare them to the other new dinosaur, which is the Australovenator. I guess this is somehow how you would pronounce that, I guess. Another cool addition. I quite like this one. They come with a very cool range of new skins. I am a big fan of this one over here. This is my beloved one. It's kind of a purple, reddish, turquoise, bluish mix. Can't really tell what exactly it is, but it just really looks cool. And the dinosaur model looks cool. Again, I am not a scientist, and I am also not a paleontologist, you know what I mean, because I have no idea if they are accurate or not, but we are still in the Jurassic, Jurassic franchise genre, so they do obviously look a little bit different than their scientific counterpart would, at least for the game, kind of things. I am very happy with this design. Really like this design. Can't really tell you too much about this, but it looks really cool. They again come with a couple of new animations that I'm quite happy with. And yeah, let's jump over to the next one, which is my favorite of the pack, which is the Styxosaurus. I think this is how you would pronounce that animal. But I do like it because of a very simple reason. They have all these kind of little skin fins over here, as you can see, all that little skin extra outlets. I don't even know how, extended skin, whatever, but due to the fact that they did animate that quite well, you get a super nice feeling of an animal underwater, which I think all the other ones didn't deliver quite yet. I mean, I'm not saying they are bad by any means, but this is just something I think is next level for these kind of underwater creatures, because it just gives you the feeling of floating and, you know, just having this little bit of waviness, making the animal go up and down, and, you know, all these kind of things. Really big fan of it. Really big fan of the change of you know, models and stuff. Even though it has some similarities with the Plesiosaurus and the Epedemic, I at least think. But yeah, look at just look at that one. Isn't that a great? Oh, isn't that a great looking reptile? I think it's the right name, right? Something like that. But yeah, I'm a big fan of that one. Also, just have a little look. This is the new stuff that we got as a little, you know, treat as well. But we talked about that already in the time lapse, so let's not waste too much time. Oh, by the way, where's the? There was one skin I really loved. I think it is that one over here. Yeah, there you go. This is kind of a cool skin. Yeah, not really in the best lighting position, but you can see really great choice of colors over here. I wish we had that one for some of the other dinosaurs, especially like a T-Rex, for example. Yeah, I really do love it. Super cool pattern. Anyways, let's fly over to the flyers, actually, which, oops, I should take the game. There you go. And now let's hit play and see if we can find some of them. Oh, there's one. Are you going to have a little sit on the rock here? That would be amazing just for us. There you go. And this is the Barbaridactylus. I think that's how you would call this one over here. Another extreme crest on the head, on the skull. You know, very extended one, almost like a fin. Really cool. Really cool, but I gotta say this might be my least favorite of the pack because it's so similar to the ones that we have already in the game. You know, not saying it's looking bad by any means, but, you know, it's almost like I have seen that one already. So yeah, you know, good addition for variety, not gonna lie, but other than that, I think it is kind of seen, at least I think. But yeah, as a little conclusion, I must say that I'm in for the update. You know, the update is super good. There are a couple of little things I need to show you right now because I haven't been showing them to you in the time lapse. Therefore, we have to go into the Sandbox settings, and as you can see, this is one of the best changes they did. They have reorganized the entire menu, and as you can tell from this menu now, it's divided into 4 different parts. With Dinosaurs, gameplay, park, and environment. We're gonna jump into the environment real quick, because I need to change to the nighttime, apply that change over here, and you can see in these different tabs, you have different options, which I think is a lot more organized, a lot easier to get to, and just a way better kind of organization of these settings. But why did I turn it to nighttime? Well, because there's one big news as well. If you go to the decoration tab, you will actually find, going to the light tab over here, there is a edit light tab down here. You can just click that and a brand new menu opens. As you can tell over here, you can see a lot of light bulbs all the way across the map, and what you can do with these light bulbs is pretty sick. You can just change the color of those. As you can see, I'm just going to change it to red, and then I'm just going to click the object, and boom, there you go, the whole color is going to change to red. So you can actually just make that, like, you know, the color of your choice. I'm going to make that a little bit orangey, just for Jurassic, and you can do the same down here as well if you don't fancy that one. By the way, this is my fake tunnel. But yeah, the game tells you what you can recolor, and there's quite a bit. You know, there's quite a bit you can recolor, which I think is really cool. And we do have actually quite a lot down here, so you can make the whole underwater area whatever you want. You can make it like bright green, just screamingly green, but you can also obviously make it like super yellow, like that, and then everything is going to change accordingly. You can make that a lot pink if you want to. Makes it all look a lot more area-like. Just you know, diving into that topic real quick. No, I'm just gonna kid it. You know, that's just what you can do with the lighting, and I think it's a very cool addition. And also, just go down here to my test amenity, and the lighting does also work for the buildings, so you can obviously randomize that, and then you get different types of lightings as well. A little bit unfortunate is that you can't change the lighting the same way you can with the other objects, so you have to go in here. So that's just, you know, a little bit where I wish there was a bit more continuity in there, but whatever, we have the option, that's great. And obviously we also have the promised new decorations items, or decoration items that are part of new buildings now. As you can tell, there are a lot more variations now, different kind of trees, different kinds of signs. Obviously we have the Jurassic Park sign variants now in here as well, and so on and so forth, as you can imagine. So I think because I've talked quite a bit in this video, let's end this over here. And just as a little hint, this is going to be continued. This is going to be my brand new vanilla park. So we're going to make this a very nice looking little German Jurassic Park. I have some little ideas how to do it. It's not going to be massive, but it's going to be very cute and detailed. So if you are interested in that, make sure to follow the channel. I would really appreciate if you guys decide to follow on this channel. You know, each subscription brings me closer to my target of 80k this year. That would be massive to reach that. So every single one of you is appreciated. Thank you so much. And again, if you haven't got enough of me, to the top right, there's going to be a video that YouTube is going to show to you, and hopefully you're going to like. So please make sure to watch that one if you're interested. And I talk to you in the next one. Stay safe and goodbye.